I know. I'm not gonna tell anybody you got afraid of the boomers. I know you don't like the lightning and the lightning with the boom, and you didn't like the lightning, and you got scared. I'm not gonna tell nobody. You big tough guard dog. I'll not tell your secrets. I swear I won't tell you secrets. You about ready to do a show? It's Sunday night. It's time to do a show. Muddin and Bees Live. We're gonna do episode 55. That's what we're gonna do. What you think, huh? What you think, huh? What you think, huh? You got kisses? Hi, kisses. Give me kisses. You got where my kisses? What the hell was that? There ain't no kisses. Oh, good grief! I get a cat to kiss me better than that. My goodness, get on with it. Okay, you ready to go live? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Muddin and Bees Live episode 55. We are live on a Sunday evening, and Muddin is ready to go. He's just got his patrol done. He is ready to go. You better back off, get knocked out. You're gonna get the thunder and the lightning. Tell you what, you better quit now. Hey, Miss Hippie, how you doing? Hey, Caleb, how you doing? See, Miss Hippie saying her brother is going to have a toe fixed. Am I reading that right? A thumb fixed. Excuse me. Hey, Siggy, how you doing? Oh, okay. So I have been last quite a while here, been listening to Zip It. Here, get some biscuits. She shut up. We got business to tend to. You know what I mean? There you go. Get you a biscuit. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I've been knee deep in the Charlie Kirk investigation, and so I've been over there raising a little hell over on X. So I'm making some progress with that. I've actually turned my Charlie Kirk EMT live stream into my third largest, highest viewed live stream. And it's going to probably surpass and it's going to be my highest viewed live stream at some point. I'm actually starting to make progress with that research. And shout out to anybody that is a Charlie Kirk investigator, researcher, that if they would like to come on and have a chat tonight about the EMT research, you're more than welcome to request to join the stream, and you can come on and we can chat a little bit about it. That's not what we're here to do tonight, but if you would like to come and introduce yourself, I would be willing to do that for you. I've got dog hair all over me. Good grief. Okay, so that being said, I'm at quite a lot of times over on X, raising hell in the Charlie Kirk investigation, X spaces. If you're interested, I'll get on there and do a little Charlie Kirkin, and like last night I did some JFK. So it's not on my channel; it's on other people's channels, X spaces. But I'm getting in there and doing a little bit of truth dropping. So that's been pretty fun. Hey, Odin's Raven, how you doing? So let's go ahead and get rid of the pleasantries, and we'll get into, and we're going to go mudding tonight. So I hope you guys are ready to do that.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice. Because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okay, we are ready to go. And no, take a big old cup of Zip It and piss off, would you? We got time for no beagle action tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead and add ins to the stagings. You better hush, we're going mudding. You know what that means? Yeah, you know what that means. How's it going, Tommy Rogers? Welcome, Masonic Q. And we're locked in and ready to go. Hey, Zip It. Take a nap. Go play with a toy. Do something. We're busy. We're going to Abbott Academy, Andover, Massachusetts, between 1900 and 1906. And these are from the Library of Congress, the Detroit Publishing Company Glass Plate Negatives Collection. And they are real. They are not AI. I do have to label this video AI because during my break I use AI music. And YouTube does not allow me to. There's Fred's the horse that built America. And, YouTube doesn't allow you to state what is AI in your video. So if you have any AI in your video, you have to claim it or they will cause you problems. So, but I assure you, these pictures are real. There's Fred down in the ground down there hauling up something. I don't know what he's up to. It's like they're getting the ivy off this building. Looks like it's maybe it's winter, but it's got the ivy up there. I guess ivy does die off in the winter. Yeah, this is winter. Look at the trees. Okay, that is really weird. I would imagine that's not how that was designed. But what do I know? We got Taurus fields up here. I would say we added this railing. I would imagine that this has been changed. That stair, I don't know, it just doesn't look right to me. I mean, does it? Why do you need a window under the stair? It's kind of a little bit strange. Got a little observatory dome that looks like. Interesting. I wonder what that's about. Got the ventilation here. These were originally part of the ventilation systems, and we turned them into chimneys. And of course, then we started burning everything down. So they probably decided that was a bad idea. So we got here's another Abbott Academy, Andover, Massachusetts, 1900 to 1906. And we got some Mudflood windows down here. Look how they did the headers here. That's kind of different. It's I don't think I've seen that before. We did the same thing up here, but down here is bigger. Kind of odd looking. Ooh, look at that beautiful detail there. Like Celtic knots, things like that. Wow. I believe the fire hydrants are old world back then. Check that out. Boy, I bet that was a pretty building. I like these buildings that are like on face value. Okay, it's pretty, but you don't really get the detail until you really look at it. And then you see here, you got the different, see how they got 3 laying one way and then 3 laying the other way? Like that's different. And then they got these arches. These windows are pretty cool. So there's just a lot of detail in the brickwork. Look at that right there. Just little things that make it different. Little Templar cross there, in case you need that. There's some Roman numerals if anybody'd like to put that in the chat and let us know what that number is. You don't see these very often, but these are pretty cool, these type of windows. I bet that is a hard thing to shingle like that. I don't know. Me no shingler. Me no do no shingles. I've done a little bit of shingles. Not like I've done like repairs of shingles, but not laying of. Well, I've laid a little bit of shingle, but not not on anything major. Well, I've done some pretty big ones. I don't know what I've done. Anyways, I'm not a roofer. I do a lot of metal roofing. Um, but that's metal roofing. That's pretty easy. Abbott Academy, Hanover, Massachusetts, same location. Uh-oh, Beagle's back for more. You just got to be right in the middle of everything, don't you? Got the old oily glass. Got some details there. Almost looks like a fleur-de-lis in there, but hard to tell. A little ether finial there. A little bit of detail. I bet that was at one point a porthole. Maybe modified at this point. Almost looks vanilla skied. Hard to tell though. I'm not seeing the telltale signs of vanilla sky. But I don't know. It's definitely a line right there. I don't know. Can't say it is or isn't. So a lot of times you can tell 1903. Now, just so you know, a lot of people say, "Well, the cornerstone it says 1903," but this is really easy to take out and replace. So I don't really care what that number says. That doesn't mean anything. That might be when they decided the date they decided to put on that sucker, but it don't mean nothing. Masons are incredible architects. They can do a lot with what they're doing. Hello, Miss Annie. Hello, Miss Virginia. Hope y'all are all doing this good this week. Across the Common, Boston, Massachusetts, 1906. Across the Common. Yeah, wrought iron work. Very nice. Looks like a Torus field. Arc light. Some dude. Venetian shell. Another arc light, it looks like. I believe this building is still there. I think this is the State House, but I'm not positive. Going from memory. Grub your page. You ever shingle a dome? No. Hell no. Matter of fact, I don't want to shingle a dome. I'm gonna pass. That's definitely a job I'm gonna pass on. That doesn't sound fun at all. Golly, how would you even start that? That would suck. Look at that. That's beautiful, that transom there. That's really cool. That's a beautiful door, too. Look at old Mudflood winters, in case you need those. Poking out the ground right there. There's a little tiny little Mudflood winter for you, in case you wonder what that is. What is that old Mudflood? That Mudflood winter is what that is. We're going to find. Never know. Just don't know. Ain't no telling what we're going to find. We just look around for Torus fields. Yep, I'm not climbing that thing right there and putting shingles on it. No. I wonder what they did shingle that with. Almost looks like copper plate. I know they did a lot of copper plate on domes. Matter of fact, I'm absolutely positive they did that in Raleigh, North Carolina.
because part of the story of that is that um, they were putting a new copper dome on the roof, and they were riveting the roof on, and they were using the hot rivet method, and something about they left a hot rivet in a bucket or something and went to lunch, and while they were gone it caught fire and they almost burned the Capitol down. There's lights up on top of that pine cone there representing the pineal gland. Architectural urns. Got a ladder lean for Douglas. Shout out UAP. Albuquerque, New Mexico, I believe. That's New Mexico, isn't it? I don't know. I might have been there. Oh, I get back here. This mansard roof with this ether cresting. Look at that. Nice, very nice. Austin's got some great stuff. Ether cresting over here too. They got these flags mounted pole to pole. That don't make sense that you do that. I don't know. That's weird right there. Like it's been modified. They have fencing there, wrought iron fencing. Amazing structures. Look at that. There's 3 big ass towers right there. All wind catchers. There's another tower. Old buildings in Albuquerque. Hey, little fellas. I don't know if I've looked at Albuquerque. I can't remember. It's all blended together. It all looks the same, once you look at it for long enough, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the same thing everywhere. Big towns, big cities, little towns, little cities, everything. At their antennas right here. Portholes. Wind catcher, ether finial. I bet you that sucker's full of mercury. I got your touring car here. Got you. Looks like a scrubbed cartouche. Portholes. I don't know what that little creature is. Here, and then they left these blank. I don't know why. I don't know, boo. Oh no! I locked Siggy up. He's done. He's working on it. Beep 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 beep. What's that sound? Buffering. Siggy is buffering. Circumpunked, it looks like. That might be a porthole, hard to tell. At their finials. Uh-oh. Somebody's in my lap snoring. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Give you a look at that. That's kind of wild. Huh. A lower window and then open up a higher window, and it would draw the heat out. and bring in fresh air and cooler air, and it would regulate the temperature very effectively. Courthouse, Dayton, Ohio, 1902. Then, of course, we buttoned up all the houses, and now we don't have ventilation, and we require HVAC. So he has something on his cart that's not being shown. It's a weird cart. And rolling up here on a Sunday night, doing our thing, looking at etherphenyls. Duluth from Cascade Park, Minnesota, 1902. Duluth. All right, got your big old wind catcher clock. Clocks are expensive. At the fennial, at the antenna, at the fennials. Got a smokestack for a steam plant. What we're gonna find, I don't know. Got a dome there. Old Beagle is cutting some Z's. You wore out from playing today, ain't you, boy? All that barking you were doing earlier. Fifth Avenue, New York City in 1906. East 26th Street. Face Cat Boss Man. That's the guy from Jumanji. Arc lights. Easy tube. At their antenna back there, got a dome. Bum 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 bum. There's a. I have not seen a storm yet. I've seen some nasty clouds, hippie, but there's I've heard some thunder. But I don't know if we're going to get a storm. The storms are weird here because they're manipulating the weather. So even though they'll tell you it's going to be one thing, it'll be another. Got 4 ones on the Roman numerals, and we've got some photo manipulation here. They're for some reason trying to hide this big building here with an ether antenna and a dome. I'm not sure exactly what you would want to hide that for. I mean, what the point of that is. It's kind of odd, but obvious photo manipulation. There's another Penis Cast Boss Man. Got Fred Booty there. Okay, show you into Fred Booties. And we got 5th Avenue, New York, 1906. Let her rock in. We'll see ladies in uniform here. Oh, look at that wrought iron work. Oh my. Oh me, oh my. Look at that. All you guys and gals that was here last week, what'd you think of going and looking at the Chicago Urban Remains Instagram? Did you enjoy that? Did you think that was fun, or did you think that sucked tailhole? What did you think? Was that interesting to you guys or not? I don't know. Let me know. Might we might do that kind of thing more often if we can, if that's something you like, or we can not. It's up to y'all. I mean, we got portholes here. See that one's open there. More portholes. Scrubbed cartouches. Pipe right there added to it. Another scrubbed cartouche. Portholes. More portholes. Yeah, old Fred will mess with you there, Siggy. Huh. I don't know how Fred did all this. I've been questioning that for a long time. It's a damn good question. Got 4 1s on the clock. Mm-hmm. I saw somewhere where they're talking about how got a guy walking on the roof up here. In case you need that, they're talking about how somebody had proven that the government was had an operation to create the Mandela effect. I thought that was pretty interesting. A case in point was the Fruit of the Loom was one of the ones they were talking about, which was interesting because it definitely had a cornucopia in it when I was little. And this is obviously a photo manipulation. There's Pooper Scooper Man there. If you're wondering who gets the stuff up, they got this photo manipulated. It looks like you can see right there. It's got the paint marks, and they've got a building right here. That's the Flatiron Building. You know, that's funny that in the last picture they were hiding this building, and then this picture they're hiding the Flatiron Building. Now, make that make sense. I don't know. It's very strange. I don't know. This is a general view looking south, Boston, Massachusetts, 1906. Gonna look south. See what we find. I don't know. Snore away, Beagle. Snore away. Porthole at the cresting. I came into one of these X spaces last night to talk about JFK, and when I came in, they some of the people already knew who I was, and they were excited to see me there. And then some people wanted to know what was like, wanted me to explain the beagle, like stuffed beagle, like what is that about? And I'm like, explain it. Well, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a name. It's the whole point is it means nothing. Check out that cat coming out of there. And anyways, this girl, she was one of these girls that I guess saves the beagles from the Fauci experiments or whatever. And she was like trying her hardest to get me to adopt one of the beagles. I'm like, I already got a beagle. I got one sitting in my lap. I don't need another one. And she was trying so hard. I felt for her because I get it. But I've got one beagle. One beagle's enough. You imagine having two beagles? Good gracious. I just can't even imagine. That's more beagle than one fella can handle. Because beagles they need a lot of attention. We see you calling somebody on the phone. Oh, we hear you listening. He's listening to your phone call. Ooh. So, I mean, I can't imagine having multiple beagles in a house. Whew. And if it was a girl beagle, I don't know if he'd ever leave her alone. I just couldn't take it. Because they get into everything all the time. They never stop. Except when they're snoring. And then they wake up and start terrorizing you. Because they're nuts. They're literally certifiable nuts. Well, that's okay. It's good entertainment. There's that dome we were looking at earlier. There's your ladder lane, Douglas. Got Gorham Manufacturing Company, Providence, Rhode Island, 1906. Hello, Miss Sherry Ives. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome back. And we got a steam plant chimney there. You see a lot of structures just like this in North Carolina. They call them cotton mills. Look at that little mud flooded door there. Let's see what we got on the clock. Looks like 4 1s for the there. And this, well, at least the ones in North Carolina, this piece, or this tower, has something to do with the steam machinery, from what I've found. I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it's got something to do with that. At least in the ones in North Carolina. That doesn't mean this is the same, but it looks damn. I could show you buildings that are in many ways identical to this. They've got the tower, they've got the arched windows, they're this height, 2 stories, sometimes 3. They got the smokestack. They're not too big. They're a manufacturing plant. They look very, very similar to this. Etherfinial. It's got ivy all over it. Got a little Mudflood winter right there in case you need one of them. Probably got some more over here too. There's a few right there in case you need a few more. I mean, who don't need a good Mudflood winter? A couple Mudflood winters. I mean, seriously, who don't? Got a train track. That's another thing, is there are train tracks usually near them too. That's another thing. That's another feature. There's quite a few in my Raleigh research that I've looked at here. So, if I ever get Haymarket Square, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 1902. Okay. Got stairs going way down here for some reason. Got wrought iron fencing. In case you need some of that. Got like a torus fieldy look to it, sort of. Kind of weird. Look at him post. I wonder if that's a lion. Hard to tell. That's a big old pot. Horse fields right there. You should see that. Got the wind catcher up here. Now the larger the wind catcher, in some cases they're called a cupola. The larger this sucker, the better the ventilation. The more control you had, the better it worked. So if you see a house that has something like this on it, you know, that may not be the nicest looking house in the world, but when it came to air conditioning, ventilation, this would be, you know, top notch. That'd be high tech for that day. See, this guy, he couldn't afford that. He old cheap bastard. You know, he's got the standard issued, you know, ventilation system. But this guy, he's got the, you know, the Pablo version. He's Pablo ventilator. Indianapolis, Indiana, 1907. Bum 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 bum. Etherfinial here in case you need one of them with fleur-de-lis on her. Look at little ant people. Little tiny little ant people. There's little Fred right there. He brought all this in, you know. Yep. That is interesting. Now that could be pavement glass. Not sure. I saw Instagram video yesterday of a older lady in New York. She was making Instagram videos and she was talking about pavement lights, and I thought it was cool. More and more people are getting to know what they are. It's that's pretty cool. It's that's definitely something that I brought to the table because nobody was talking about pavement lights before I did. Nobody. That's I've had a few claims to fame. That was one of them. So that's pretty cool to see. Hello, GT. 1982 Mustang is in the house. What's going on? How's the West Coast? West Coast rules. East Coast rules. You ever seen the movie Ali G? That's funny. That is a funny movie. If you've never seen that movie, GT, you got to see that movie. Ali G. That is some funny movie right there. West Coast rules. East Coast rules. West Coast rules. East Coast rules. Might want to put in the chat the Roman numerals there. Taurus Fields. Yeah, I don't think those are pavement lights. I think those are just now that might be. I don't know. I think that's just brickwork. I have seen buildings that look exactly like that were actually pavement lights. That's what made me think of that. Bum, 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 bum. Hello, little statues. Little tiny ant people. Look at the size of that freaking doorway. Come on. What's going on with that? There's another Flatiron building. Non-scrubbed cartouche there. Wind catcher. Well, I'm getting I should be able to finish my vegetable garden sides this week. I don't know. I'm still waiting on the plastic top to come in. But once I get that, then it will be ready. I'll make a video and show you the before and after. But it's looking really good, I think. And I think you're going to like it. So we had a couple baby goats get sold this week. This is Indianapolis, Indiana, 1907 again. And we got a new parrot. Her name is Pancha. And she is, which is the Spanish version of Poncho. I guess, from my understanding. I don't know if that makes any sense, but anyways, her name is Pancha. She's pretty. And we got a bunch of parakeets, or whatever they're called, little tiny, I don't know, miniature parrots. I don't know what the hell you call them thing. I think it's called parakeets. Anyways, we got a bunch of those. And got a Mudflood drop in there. See the stairs going down. But that's pretty cool. The Lambo came back this week. It was getting some work done on it, some upgrades and things, and so it came back this week. And the apartment is coming along. They got this. Let's see, they got the siding finished, windows installed. The plumbing is almost done. The gutters are on. They got the first coat of the Cool Seal. I don't know if it's not called Cool Seal. It's like a Cool Seal, but somehow, some way, we went to get the $125 area, like 125 $150 Cool Seal, per 5 gallons. We ended up walking out of there with I think it was $575 a 5 gallon bucket, whatever. It was like a siliconized version or something. Anyways, so that's getting done. And what else is? I'm trying to think what's getting it done. There's been a little bit of masonry stuff been worked on, but nothing interesting. Kind of finishing off a few things, repairing a few things that may or may not have gotten run into with a bobcat. It won't me. That's all I'm saying. It won't me. Indianapolis, Indiana, 1907 again. Wow. Okay. The Win. That'd be a great band name. The Win. Who you going to see tonight? The Win. Yeah, Win. You going to see it? The Win. What? Huh? Why? No, the Win. No. Where? No, the Win. I don't know. It really missed somebody. Yeah, yeah, correct, GT, correct. Sure is. It's a I don't you call it base model, I call it lower model. Definitely. Boss wasn't trying to spend too much on it. He didn't want to. He wanted one, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to spend the he didn't want to buy one of the really expensive ones. That wasn't what he was trying to do. He just wanted he wanted a Lambo, but he didn't want the cool. He did test drive a bunch of different things, but that's what he went with. That's what he wanted. I mean, he started off wanting that. I voted the Ferrari, but I got voted down. Of course, that was a little bit more expensive, like double. But I like the Ferrari. I thought, well, I mean, I like a Lamborghini, like the nicer Lamborghinis, but I do like a Ferrari. I think they're pretty, but I don't fit none of them. I can't even ride in the damn thing. First thing I was told is I can't get in it because it's too small, and it is. I can't get it. I couldn't get in. I damn sure couldn't get out of it. I mean, who the hell's making these things? They don't even make them for real people, like 6'4" people. They don't make cars like sports cars. It's bullshit. I can't get in it. What fun is that? That's no fun. I don't want to damn. Just get that doggone truck. Yeah. Onion dome, portholes. A lot of ether antennas up there. Smokestack for steam plant. I just don't. I would never want anything like that. Personally, I think it's. I don't know. I mean, if you had just whatever to throw away at it, okay, whatever, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't have that desire. Indianapolis, Indiana, 1907. Let a ladder lean for Douglas. There you go, UAP. Portholes, ether cresting, ether finials, mansard roofs. Little ant people. Ether antenna, ether finial. Another ether finial. We saw that one earlier. Look at this obelisk here. Gosh, this thing is so cool. It's still there today. Incredible. Look at these lights. I have seen this, the lights that are part of the obelisk. I think a lot of them, if not all of them, had lights at one time. I think they removed a lot of them. At their cresting. Looks like they're doing something there on that roof. Maybe they're building this water tower. It's a big old dome here. Sonic Q's dad worked on racy cars. That's cool. Indianapolis, 1907. Let lock in. Boom. There it goes. The Mudflood drop in there. Got Fred right there. I bet you there's pavement light there. It's got some pavement light looking things. Just hard to see it. There's some portholes. Oh, Ha's in here. Careful, everybody. He might get squirrely on you. There's the portholes. Ha, you back from across the border? And get back on this side of the border now. I don't know if they're going to put up with your kind over there. Lord have mercy. They probably good grief. Woodcuts, come over here. Oh, my goodness. Can't be having it. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 da, da. Another Indianapolis. Man, I grabbed a bunch of these, didn't I? Let it lock in. Lock in, would you please? Some portholes. Tomlin Hall. At their antenna, there's another porthole. See how that one's closed and that one's open? Now think about that. That's in the attic. Okay? These windows are not like, these aren't like using, they're not using these rooms. These are up at the top. And the reason they're up at the top is because the air would be brought in down here in like this type of ventilation opening. You know, and it would bring in the cooler air. And then as it moved through the building, it would raise the hot air up to the top of the building and then out that hole. And so that was a way to do that. Where was I saw I think it was San Francisco, where they had these contraptions where you could open the front door and close the front door from the top of the stairs inside the house. It was really weird. And it was like with this like cable system. I thought that was really weird. And the guy was saying that they're very rare to see, and they're very rare to see these days, and even more rare to see them actually working. And they were showing it working. I was like, wow, that's something I've never seen before. kind of cool. Livery and stable. So that's where I guess the horses could sleep. Go to sleep, little horsies. Kind of a Moorish looking building. Lily Pond in Como Park, St. Paul, Minnesota, 1902. These are something you'd see in a lot of these old parks that are just really cool. Yet you don't see these anymore, and I don't know why. It's an odd thing that you don't. They were really popular at one time, and I don't know why they're not popular anymore. Got elephant ears back there in case you need those. Little footbridge. Mary E. Fletcher Free Hospital, Burlington, Vermont, between 1900 and 1907. I could make a case that's a flat earth asterisk. At the cresting. This would be where they bring the cart, the carriage up to allow the guest off the carriage so they wouldn't get wet. At the cresting. Check out that brickwork. We're at their cresting. There's the wind catcher. At their finial. Crack in that chimney. That's weird. That's an odd place to get a crack. At their finial. Little Miss. Creepy person in the middle in the window. Mary E. Fletcher Free Hospital, Burlington, Vermont, between 1900 and 1907. Another picture. That lock in on the creepy person. In the window. Creepy person in the window. Venetian wave. That old glass, the oily look. Mudflood winders, in case you need them. There's your wind catcher. All right. North Atlantic Squadron in Bay, Rockport, Massachusetts, 1906. Little tiny sailboat there. It's like the block wall's been knocked down here. I guess the big bad wolf blew it down. It's like a patch job there. Added on to that building. Got some boomers on there. Those old Navy ships are pretty wild looking. bunch of them out there, ain't there? That's the last one. All right. Old Traders Locks, Salute St. Marie, Ontario, 1902. Okie dokie. So what the hell does that thing do? Okay, I don't know what that does. It's got a lock door on it, looks like. But what does it do? Water coming in. Maybe that's like a part of the raising and lowering mechanism of some sort. I don't know. That's really weird. I don't know, boo-boo. Boy, that's some beautiful stonework there. Well, that's a melted building. Look, it's melted bricks. They done fused together. Look, right there. They fused together in a nice, beautiful pattern. Look at all the bricks that fused together. My goodness. Support Meltology. Send us all your money. Welcome to Meltology. I love you. Welcome to Meltology. I love you. Welcome to our blockhouse. I love you. We're a bunch of blockheads. I love you. Golly, the people are idiots. Old Watchtower, Fort Snelling, Minnesota, 1902. Bum, bum, bum. This dude's guarding it. You're not going to get my tower. Don't you even think about it. I might shoot arrows through my slits here. Yep, not sure what the point of all that is, but there it is. Ain't got an answer on that one. Panorama of Boston, Massachusetts, 1906. One thing that jumps out at me is it's been vanilla skied here. You can see they painted out the background right there for whatever reason. Not sure why. Do. Must be laundry day. Everybody's doing their laundry. Huh. I wonder why they did it. Like, I don't know. It's not normal to see a bunch of laundry out. Well, that's a weird contraption there. What is that? What's that? What is that? Hot water heater? What the hell is that? Steam? Maybe that's for steam. I don't know what that is. Got something really cooking. I don't know. Me no. Oh. I don't know. Got another panorama of Boston, 1906. It's also vanilla skied, as you can see. Uh-oh, the beagle's on the move. What I do, disturb you? So sorry. Might be fussing at me here in a minute. He eats, he wants to go out. He wakes up from a nap, he wants to go out. Basically, any excuse to go out, pretty much, he'll take. Wind catcher. It's just his way. And a wind catcher up there. Smokestack for steam plant. He ain't awake yet. Another Boston, Massachusetts, 1906. Mm. Look at those other fennials. Look how they vanilla skied that. That's got the wind catcher there. Look at the tall ships. Very cool. I bet they were a sight to see. Look at that. I would have liked to have seen that. It's something we'll never see. You might see a few here and there, but that are preserved for. But they have pretty much gone the way of the dodo bird, I guess. It's not something we're going to see. Another Boston, 1906. Vanilla sky again. They cut the top off the dome this time. So there's like no rhyme or reason to this. Here they saved the American flag, but they cut the dome off. Like, it don't make any sense. So many ships. Dude, that's a big one. Good grief. What I think it'd probably been cool to be a pirate, be a swashbuckler. I think that'd be fun. Here he goes. Diamond symbology, portholes. You waking up now? Senor Beagle? Yeah, I figured. I know how you operate. Yeah. Here he goes. Y'all know the drill. Yeah, here he goes. It's like clockwork. Good grief. You set a clock by that one. Good grief. All right. We're gonna take a patrol break, and we will be back shortly, y'all. Okay. Okay. We are back. Miss Annie says she would have liked to live in a world with all these beautiful buildings and architecture. And I think it would have been very interesting. I think it would have been very different. I think there would have been a lot of hardships about it. I mean, where's the bathroom? That would be hard. How you cook your food would have been hard, because all those technologies in that time frame were, non-existent. Really, we were creating those things, but I think we started figuring those things out pretty quickly because we knew they weren't. It's like, how did people go thousands of years without electric light? I don't think they did. I think we went a relatively short period of time without electric light. I think we got tired of that real quick. But that's that's an opinion. Haha says he's still on British time. What in the world? And Hippie says she's gonna have a cup of tea. I'm assuming that's what a cup of means. She was doing British slang, and over here we don't know what a cup of tea is. We drink the coffee. Yes, and drink and eat your dog biscuits. That's right. And when you say biscuits, we think you're gonna put some butter or some apple butter on there, maybe some gravy on a biscuit. And if we're gonna have a cookie, we have a cookie. Ain't that right? When we want a cookie, we have a cookie. That's right. Okay. What are you doing? Kisses? Okay, thank you. Who doesn't need kick? Who doesn't need who doesn't need a couple kisses? All righty. This adds in the backends to the stagings. We already been there. We already done that. So we're going to go to Pavilion in Lester Park, Duluth, Minnesota, 1902. The photographers here, they took a lot of scenery pics, nature pics, things like this. I don't show them for the most part, because they're not, the focus of what I'm trying to look into. But they did take a lot of scenery photographs of like mountains and waterfalls and things like that. So if you're interested in that stuff, you can go and look on the Library of Congress under the Detroit Publishing Company glass plate negatives, and find tons of beautiful pictures that they took. Post office and customs house in Duluth, Minnesota. In case you need one of those. Got arc light. Got the swing down arm there. Got Boston Man there coming down. Wrought iron work. It's a pretty tall door right there. Mudflood windows down there. More over here. Got a tent up here. I wonder if that's a circus or a tent preacher. Easy stove polish. Pretty details there. Big old arch. That's odd looking. Oh, kind of weird looking. Don't know. At their antenna, mercury ball. Post office, St. Paul, Minnesota, 1902. GT, you drink yerba mate. I don't think I'd be going around telling people that. I don't even know what that is. Down here in the South, we don't drink that. We ain't never heard of that. But I don't think I'd be telling people. Hey, y'all West Coasters, I tell you what. I got something going on there. Poop Scooper, man. Going behind Fred. Funeral director. Etheric light. I love those round globy kind. It's from Brazil. Whatever makes you feel better there, baby. I'm gonna stick to sweet tea, son. That's the nectar of the gods. On the 8th day, God made sweet tea. There was a band here in North Carolina back in the 90s called Craven Melon. You can search their song Sweet Tea on the YouTube. And I saw them. They were a localish band, and we would go see them every time they came. And I tell you what, that was a hell of a time. There was a lot of free flowing alcohol, and the ladies enjoyed dancing to it. That's the basic gist of it. But on the 8th day, God made sweet tea. But they were a good band. The recording of that they did not get they weren't recorded very well. They were, they had not gotten a big record deal or anything, and they were really a good Southern rock and just a fun band, and boy, it was always a hell of a night when Craven Melon came to town. Good memories of that. Good memories. But bum. Yeah, black tea's good. It's good for you too. They say. Polk Square, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 1902. We got Fred right here getting ready to do a delivery of bricks, getting him a drink of water at the water spot, the water old watering hole. He's got his backup Fred over here. Got a tiny little itty bitty little Mudflood window down there. Diamond symbologies. Little Taurus fields. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Okay, there's Fred. He's definitely unloaded some bricks and built probably this building. Could have been this one, not sure. I mean, he's coming this way, so he probably built this one. This Fred probably built this building. I mean, I don't know. Not really sure, but they definitely brought the bricks in to build these buildings. Not really sure how all that worked. Still working on that. pulp mills. Salute St. Marie, Ontario, 1902. So this is a pulp mill shaped like a castle. Okay, I'll go with it. Why not? Why not? Looks like there was a clock supposed to be there. That is beautiful stonework. I've never seen that style right there. That's different. It's kind of like a coin with a Q, but it's different. That's something I'm not seeing before. That's neat. You see this a lot where the water runs it through, and then they would have water mills in there that would generate power. So that's free energy right there. I mean, I don't think that all free energy was etheric. I mean, there was other ways of getting free energy. They had wind, they had, windmills, they had the steam plants. There was different ways of getting free energy. I don't think it was one thing. I think they had different kinds. Just like kind of like we do today. We have different types of energy production. The problem that they wanted, that when the elite took over, what they wanted was they wanted to be able to charge us for the electricity. They wanted to make sure that we had to pay them in order to use it. So that's why they hid the etheric electricity, the free energy. They wanted to enslave humanity, and they did a damn good job of it. But people are starting to wake up, y'all. It's about to be on like Donkey Kong. Rockingham Hotel, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 1902. Wish y'all could hear some of the conversations I'm listening to on X Spaces, and y'all are more welcome to join. Like, get in there and listen, or get in there. You can request to speak. But I tell you, I will warn you that if you request to speak, to bring your A game, because the people that are speaking, such as myself and others, are it is Ali level. Like it's WWF, like free, it's main event. It can be, it's intense. It's real deal shit, and I mean big names in there. Big names. So and what you do is you look into like I'm looking for I'm looking into Charlie Kirk, and when people got Tartarian Alliance here, Mudflood Winders, when when the people that I'm subscribed to on X, when they go live on X Spaces, they it lets the the little thing lets me know, and then you can click on there. You can choose to listen anonymously, or just listen, or you can request to be a speaker. And a couple times I've been asked to be a speaker. Like I was sitting there, and like there was one night I went in there, and I was heading to bed, and God, it was like 3:00 in the morning. I was exhausted, and I was just lying down, kind of trying to wind down, and I saw somebody was live, and I clicked on. I thought I'd listen to them for a couple minutes, and I just kind of see what they were chattering about. And they saw me in there, and they invited me to speak. So I'm in there at 4:00 in the morning or so, doing a full on Charlie Kirk EMT rundown from bed. I mean, I'm sitting there dropping truths from bed. I mean, it's just, and it was incredible because they were so respectful. I walked in went in the site, the room, and everybody was kind of going back and forth about different things. And then I came in there, and the host invited me. That I didn't know who they were. They were just somebody that I had subbed, and they invited me in, and to come speak. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. And was very helpful because it really helped people understand. Even though I didn't present anything other than just my intellectual thinking, it really opened some eyes. People just listening to the story. So that was really quite nice to have people actually interested in listening. And then when I got done presenting, which I presented for maybe 15 minutes, just dropped it out, 15 minutes of straight blasting it out, and just free flowing. And then they asked questions very respectfully, and then I got off, and that was really cool. I did the same thing with doing JFK. I did that last night, I believe it was last night. It might have been. Anyways, did the same thing on. They were talking about JFK, and I went in there and dropped some JFK truths. And I don't normally do that. This is Saranac Lake from Mount Pisgah, Adirondack Mountains, 1902. So I don't normally talk about that stuff. But these people were interested in hearing about JFK, so I went in there and dropped some JFK facts that just blew their fucking minds. And it just completely, took them sideways. And it was really, that's really cool to be able to share that information, because I have, I used to try to share this information from my studies that nobody listened to, nobody cared. This is St. John's Church, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, 1902. Nobody cared about, the stuff I was looking into, and so I quit sharing it. And then when I started sharing Mudflood, people actually were interested. So that's what I've done. But as you know, I don't talk about conspiracy theory stuff very much on here. I know that Mudflood would be a conspiracy theory, but I don't talk about 9/11 and JFK and all that stuff. Although I'm extremely well versed. You don't get me started on JFK or 9/11, because I can go for a long time, especially 9/11. That's a topic it's never ending. That's going to be a conversation you're going to have to take in stride, because it's going to be a long night. Sulfite paper mill and old blockhouse, Salute St. Marie, Ontario, 1902. But anyways, it's just nice to be able to share these things in a space where people are listening, and people ask good questions, really good questions. And I've learned. I have to tell. I'll talk about that a little bit later. I'll have to tell a little bit more about some interesting Charlie Kirk stuff. That's a blockhouse. Now, this is a little history. Somebody, I don't even remember the story. I've got it somewhere. Somebody in my family at one point, their job was they were stationed at a blockhouse, and it was their job to guard that blockhouse. That's just part of, I don't know, it's a part of the family history. I don't know, just a weird little, and I've got pictures of it. I don't know, just a weird thing. I don't really know much about it, but Summit Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota, 1902. A gas lamp for you. There's Fred delivering the bricks. Fred, get them bricks. That's the Fred clones. The Mudflood Winters. I sure wish these pictures would show more of the houses. I know they tried, but the trees get in the way, and you just can't see them. Mudflood Winters across there. Interesting little arch down there. Little fountain. Now that, in that time, a fountain was a big deal. I mean, to pump water through a fountain like that was probably not, you were probably, even though that's a tiny fountain, I don't care what kind of fountain it is, it was probably, a bigger deal than it looks. So kind of, give credit where credit's due there. Superior Street, Duluth, Minnesota, 1902. Crown Restaurant. Come with Crown and Coke, or is that just a normal, everyday, old, boring ass Crown? I don't know. There's Fred. Fred's bringing in the horses with his clone. Yeah, that's the black and white negative of the Fred clones. Yes. There's a coin with a Q. And there's some portholes in action. These are closed. This one's halfway open. This one's a quarter of the way open. So they're different. They want different depending on which one you open and how much you open, depending on how much ventilation you got. And, it probably was the kind of thing where you called to the servants and, told them to give you more ventilation. I'm cold, and they would open it more. Or I'm hot, and they would close it more, whatever. And, it'd be a servant's kind of thing. Anytime I see a barber pole, I like to look down for undergrounds. There's an onion dome, a bunch of ether antennas back there. Trolley. Let's see what they're doing over here on this side of the street. There's just a lot of people walking around. I mean, when's the last time you went to downtown and saw a bunch of people walking around? Clocks are expensive. Boom. That's fire escape, and that pipe right there is a fire pipe, and you could go up here with a hose and hook into that pipe right there and turn that knob right there, and it will give you water on the roof for putting out fires. So it's a fire department piece. Interesting technology. Tennessee Coal, Iron, and Railroad Company's furnaces, Inslee, Alabama, 1902. Got some trains for Frankie. I don't know if Frankie's here joining us this week, but Frankie likes a good train. So there's your train, Frankie. It goes choo-choo. Where does the smoke go on a flat earth? Think about it. And then think about where's the smoke go on a ball earth. Woo! And there's portholes right there. Lots of portholes. Get you some coal. Ooh, that's a big chunk of coal. That'll heat you a while. The Ampersand, Lower Saranac Lake, Adirondack Mountains, 1902. Get your little canoe, take you a little ride. A lot of these hotels back then. A lot of them. I have so many pictures of these type of hotels. I don't show them very much because I have so many of them. I think what it is that the photographers that took these pictures stayed in these hotels, so they always took a picture of them. And they're always huge like this. I mean, they're like freaking massive things. They're always wood frame structures. They're always big like this. This is actually kind of small, actually, for what they normally are. But there was so many of them back then. Kind of weird. The campus Martis, Detroit, Michigan, 1906. I will hit you with my shield. Laurel leaf of control. Mow laurel leaf, mow laurel leaf, mow laurel leaf. Doing something in the ground right there. There's Fred right there. Must be delivering some more bricks. There's Fred. He's dropping off the bricks right there. They're going to build a building. No doubt. That's odd. I don't know what that is. That's a weird one. At their cresting and fennials. Mudflood winders. You can see how they drop into the ground right there. In case you need those. Look at that stonework. That facading. Got a little fella in the niche there. Trolley car. Let me get over here. Good grief. Look how big that doorway is. Golly. That's a good, I don't know, 20 feet tall. Come on. Got the Freds lined up. Must be delivering bricks. That looks like it's pavement light right there. Can't confirm nor deny, but it definitely has that pavement light looky going on. Same all the way around the corner there. It's like an electric car. Could be. I don't know. Hard to tell. They did have electric cars back then. I mean, Tesla talking about gonna bring that around. That is amazing. Fred loves donkey hole, huh? Well, got Mudflood drop-ins all across there. I still ain't seen that donkey. We were told that, there's this donkey company that did all this, and I ain't seen a donkey yet. Everybody knows Fred's the OG. That's all right. Campus, Martis, Detroit, Michigan, 1906. Yeah, Fred's the OG. He can't help it. Look at me. He's over here delivering the bricks. Gotcha. Cannon. Mudflood winders. Little fella in the niche. Yeah, at the cresting and fencing. At the fennials. Clocks are expensive, and you got 4 eyes on the Roman numerals. It was IV when I was younger, so that's something they've changed. And that is a moon tower, and these are arc lights, and they were old street lights, and they had to be changed very often. And that's why you have this mechanism here, right? This pulley system here, and so they could lower this down to get the or lower the excuse me. How do I explain this? They had they needed to raise and lower the I think a basket to put the lights. They had to replace these lights like very often. I don't know how often, but it might have been every 24 hours. They did not last long. But they called them moon towers because they would like make this whole area look like it was moon, like full moon out. They were that bright, and in that day, I mean, that was amazing. Incredible lighting. Who's washing that dress? digging some dirt up here. This water tank right here, they would run through the streets and spray water on the dirt roads to keep the dust down. So that's what that is. There's another one right there. They constantly ran them around, and because the dust was nasty. There's another moon tower there and there. And these moon towers were bought by the city of Austin, and they put them up. They changed the lighting mechanisms in them. They're no longer arc lights. They modernized them, but they still have them. Some of them, I don't think they're all up anymore. I don't remember how many are up, but there's still some up at least. And in the movie Dazed and Confused, if you've seen that movie, they do a scene where they climb the moon tower, and they talk about if you fall, you're gonna hit every bar on the way down, man. You're definitely gonna die. Like it. That's a classic scene in that movie. But that they're climbing up a Detroit purchased moon tower. Could have been this one right here. Little movie factoid for you, in case you were unaware and uninformed and actually cared or interested, or bum 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 dun 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 bum 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 bum. Whew. Who'd you unsubscribe from, Miss Orphan Annie? I can't see. Who's rattling your chain, Miss Annie? The campus martyrs, Detroit. There's old Fred. Look at these little ant people running around down here. The Opera House over here to the right. This fountain, I believe they took this apart and moved it. It's no longer here. Tartarian lines. I believe I've showed that on the show before. I've done so many shows at this point, I don't know, I can't remember when and where and what I did what, or when and where and how. Those are definitely pavement lights, 100%. All right, there's some pavement light. All that's pavement light. See that? Pavement lights going to the underground, giving you light. There's prism transoms. They were sold by the same company that sold the glass pavement lights there. Look at that awning cover for that, whatever that is right there. Pull it around, a little curtain. That's kind of neat. Bum, bum, bum. I think it's hilarious. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Hell to the hell no. Oh, hell no. Y'all gone crazy. No, 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 no. No, that is not OSHA approved. I don't like OSHA, but good grief, I certainly ain't doing that. Oh, hell no. That's when you tell the boss man to kiss my ass. Golly, you go crazy, dude. Woo! No, 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 no. We're not doing that. No, no, no. Moon Tower, there's the Moon Tower, 2 moon towers there. Man, that dude just climbs right on that in the winter, starts rubbing winters. The Chapel, Adirondack Cottage, Sanitarium, Adirondack Mountains, 1902. Get her done, as GC says. Oh, them were popcorn bricks. Look at that. They done meltedology. Look, it's popcorn bricks. They doggone stay that popcorn bricks popcorned out, and then they stayed level and true. Yes, look. Oh my goodness. There you go, meltologist. What do you think? Oh, guaranteed. They'd say that is popcorn bricks. 100% guaranteed, retard approved. No doubt. No doubt. They'll probably be showing this on their show next. Oh, look at here. BEAGS found popcorn bricks. Look, right there. There you can see the aperture. Golly, what do they smoke? They must be smoking like some special shit. Some of that Brazilian shit. I don't know. Meltlandia evidence. Yeah. Middle Campus, Brown University, Providence, Rhode Island, 1906. Lock in, Fred. Lock in. Lock in. Thank you. There you go. There's little Freddie. Freddie's delivering the bricks. And we got Mudflood Winders, little circle punk on the door, original symbol for the creator, a couple more Mudflood Winders. That brickwork right there. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Got some fanciness there. Some more fancy brickwork here. Interesting little details. Got the finial going. I'm sorry, Beagle. I decided to move a little bit. If that's okay with you, there's a porthole ventilating right there. I've got some really good videos on that. I need to probably share one day. Look at that Mudflood drop in right there. There's a walkway going down into the underground there. There's another little Mudflood winter poking out back there. I saw you little fella sticking back there in the back. Yeah, a little Mudflood winter right there. That's a weird building. Stoneball finials. At the cresting. Alrighty. The Water Castle on Hart Island, Thousand Islands, 1902. So, basically a castle. Who don't like a good castle? That's pretty stonework right there. Look at that clock. Clocks are expensive. That's a wind catcher. Look at that ether finial. Good grief. Jeez. That's probably the input for the wind catcher, and that's probably the output. When the air goes in, it comes down, circulates, goes back out, and ventilates through there. That's kind of magical to it. That's really cool. Gotta say. Thousand Island House at Alexandria Bay, 1902. Got your paddle boat here, looks like. Domestic fancy dry groceries. Ether antennas. There's another one. Ether cresting. Diamond symbology. I love those old canoes. I used to like canoeing a lot when I was younger. That's a young man's game, though. I ain't what's referred to as a young man no more. I ain't no whippersnapper. At the antennas. Ooh, look at them awnings. Ooh, I love a good droopy awning. Good looking awning. A wind catcher up here. Portholes. Ether cresting. Ether antenna. Bringing in that free energy. There's some more antennas. In case you need some free energy. House. something house. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Thousand Island House. Well, we know we added that. Uh, woo! Winooski, Vermont. Who the hell's writing this? Showing American Woolen Mills, 1907. Yep, there's another one of them structures, manufacturing structures, and they always have this. It's three three-ish elements. I say the first element is a kind of a long building with a lot of arched windows like this. The second element is the tower, and the third element is the steam chimney, smoke chimney for the steam. And they would have a steam plant and a belt system in there that would be running all the equipment. But this style, you see that a lot, and there's a lot of that in North Carolina, and they call them textile mills or cotton mills. That would be a small version of it right there, but they're very common here in America. I don't know if they're, if that's a worldwide phenomenon or what, but they're definitely common here. So that is the end of this week's Pictures, ladies and gentlemen. So talk about Charlie Kirk. I've talked about it a little bit here, my hypothesis on what I think happened that day, and I haven't gone into great detail about it because it's kind of really complicated stuff, and it definitely goes against the mainstream conspiracy theorist ideas and views at this moment. But I'm finding out kind of by accident, just from people asking me questions and me giving my points of view on things, that there is quite a few people out there that are not only in agreement with what I'm thinking, but they are working on actively researching this theory that I thought it was something that I had not heard anybody talk about it. And now people are coming to me on back channels comparing notes with me, kind of by mistake. And it's very interesting. I don't really want to get in great detail about it because I think it's a little bit much for the average mind, but it's basically a theory of that, in a nutshell, that they staged him being shot, that there was no he was not shot at all, that they did physical props in order to make it look like he got shot, and also they used video masking, and that's not even the right terminology. They used some very, very high-tech masking technology, like military grade shit, to make it look like he got shot in the neck. And it basically, in a nutshell, the people that were there, they did a misdirection on them. What the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. That people think they heard a shot, they heard a noise or some sort of bang. They saw Charlie fall over, and then they saw him carried away with blood on his shirt. And the idea being that they created a sound. They used the microphone, the Rode microphone, to create a I call it, I don't exactly know what to call it, but I call it a concussion wave, a concussion energy wave, to make it look like he got hit in the chest. And the idea was that we think the idea was that he was supposed to be shot in the chest, and something went wrong and it didn't function right, and they had to change it to a neck shot. But this was all done in post, and they edited the videos very quickly using AI, and then spit the videos out to social media, and that's what people saw. So what happened is, people were there in the audience. A lot of people were crisis actors that were there, which is why you hear people saying he got shot in the chest. And then they heard a crack thump, and they saw his shirt fly up, they saw him fly back, they saw him fall over, they saw the guys pick him up, carry him away with blood on his shirt. But they didn't see the blood squirt out. That's actually not true. That the people that say they saw it, probably either one or two things: either A, they're a crisis actor, or B, more than likely, what I think it is that they heard the sound, saw the shirt fly up, saw him fall over, they saw him carried away with blood, and then very soon, within minutes, they were checking their social medias, and they had already uploaded the videos, and they're seeing the video, and they're like, yeah, that's what I saw. And their mind put it together, and they think they saw him get shot in the neck. So basically what I'm saying is, it was a military level hit. And very, very nasty shit. But anyways, it's just interesting that I've been working that angle since the shots rang out, supposedly, and I have not really talked about it much, because I did not know that anybody else was on the same page, at least anybody that was researching. But I am getting hit behind the scenes with people like, yes, I'm totally on board, and here's why, and they're presenting their evidence, and it's hardcore shit. But anyways, the real Charlie Kirk investigation is going on behind the scenes, y'all. What you're seeing on YouTube and the presentations on X and Instagram and all that are the compilation of what people are putting together. The real shit's going on behind the scenes. People are working together and putting things together, and it's quite interesting, and it's a lot deeper than you've been told or think it is. But anyways, that's kind of the dealio there. I don't know where that's gonna end up, but it is definitely interesting to me. But I'm basically, my hope is to my only hope with it is to get my EMT research heard by the large channels that are out there that are working on this. And once that story is out there and people are, really actively working on it, and it is part of the story, the overall story, to walk away. I don't want anything to do with it after that. I don't want to be a part of it. It's something that it's a piece of the story that I put together, and I assure you, I am the original source on this story. Everything that's been said on this story, I don't care who you're hearing it from, up to this point, came from me. Period. They got it from me. Now, they might be putting their name on it, but I assure you, every single person out there that's putting this story out at this point, there's very few of them, but I assure you they got it from me. Now, I'm talking to a few channels behind the scenes to try to have a chat with them. But it's tough going, because this group of researchers are very close knit, and they are they don't just bring anybody into their circle, and so they're vetting me right now, and I understand that, but the problem is that the information I have is 5.5 hours long, and so even the people that are interested in what I'm saying are looking into my research, and my research is very long, and it's taking them time to go through it, and I understand that. What I need to do, what I'm probably going to be forced to do, is probably come up and make a documentary about it, which is, I really don't want to have to do that, but I might have to do that in order to make it something that is more palatable to people that don't have the time to sit down and watch 5.5 hours. Which that's a lot of work. And then well, to answer your question, how do I find this X-File thing? Okay, it's called, they call it Spaces. It's on X, and it's the way I find it is that people that I'm subscribed to on X that are doing these spaces. It's like a group chat. It's not visual; it's only audio. And they start a group chat, and then people join in. You can listen in. You can be an anonymous listener, or you can request to speak, and then the host has to okay you to speak. And then you can there's a few emojis you can put in, like thumbs up, thumbs down, laughing emoji, 100%, the shocked face, a heart, a clapping hands. You can do one where you raise your hand to speak. And it most of the time it's real respectful, where one person is talking and then they'll stop, and then another person will ask them a question, and then sometimes you have it gets to be like a WWF match. It can be pretty sparky. And but let me see here. Let me check something here. I don't know if I can even do this. I don't know. Let me see here. Hold tight for just a second, y'all, and let me see if let's see. Yeah, I think I can do this. Oh, hold on. Bear with me a second, y'all. I'm gonna try to show y'all how I go about this. we're gonna try this. This may now. I will say, and I don't understand this, and a lot of people have this problem, that when you listen from your laptop or your computer, X, you'll be listening, and all of a sudden it'll just stop. It's like it freezes, but it doesn't do it listening from your phone. So I highly suggest listening from your phone. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but it's a common problem. That hold on, shoot, I got to get that off the screen so I can do this. It's a common problem that people have. Let me okay, this should do it. Let me make sure I'm got my doodad. Okay, this is X, and over here on the right hand side, right now you got Louisiana Girl Tara and Ecological Crime Report. They're live on X right now. Okay, and let's I don't know. We'll try Louisiana Girl. Let's see. Click on it, and then it shows right here. It shows they're recording. If they're recording, you can listen back to it later. And you can select right here, listen anonymously or listen, and hopefully I won't get asked to speak. Start listening, and I don't know if y'all can hear that.
I can listen for like a couple minutes and then I catch this.
I wonder if it ended because now I don't even see it being available.
No, it's playing. I'm thinking.
And you can see the people in here. I'm gonna mute that because it might feedback if I don't. But see, I'm right there, and I can request to speak right here, and I can give emojis right here. Sometimes this thing is slow. All right, come on. I wonder if it shut down already. No, it's still going. Oh, you got to click it. Sorry. And you got little emojis here. You can snip the audio right there. But you see, I'm right here. I'm labeled as a listener. See, there's little stuffed beagle, and this guy right here, he does a lot of them. What I'm saying is, you can go subscribe to these people, and when they do these things, they'll pop up on your X feed right over here, live on X, and you just go in here and click on it. You can listen to what's going on. I've got it muted right now, because if I don't, I think it's going to feed back. Oh, wait a minute, I know what to do. Let me turn it down. Okay, y'all can. I don't know if y'all can hear that. And then you can leave here, and then here's another one. I'm not gonna. They might ask me to speak if I go in there, so I'm gonna be anonymous and go in there. They've asked me to speak before when I go in there, so I'm gonna not do that right now. But anyways, you can see different people, but you can click on, if you see right here, you got Paramount Tactical and is in this one. So you can go in there and talk smack to Paramount Tactical, that's a good kick in the nuts. You could go have fun, bashing on him because he he's kind of a jackass. So you can go do that. So that's fun. I mean, you get, real people in here, like straight up, like big people in here. So, it ain't no joke. It's not for the faint of heart. If you're listening, that's one thing, but, I'm just talking about if you're, looking to talk, you better bring your A game because it's going to be, it ain't no joke because they will eat you alive if you don't bring your A game. I've seen it happen many times. Anyways, no, I don't. I'm not. I wasn't real into Charlie Kirk before this event, and I'm not here to make any judgments about was he a good guy, was he a bad guy, was he right, was he wrong. I'm not interested in any of that. That could be debated all year long, but I know that they did a major psyop on the American people, really the people of the world, and it's being carried out by very, very bad people. And I felt like I could make a difference in people understanding what happened that day. And so that's what I'm doing. I feel it's the right thing to do. And I'm trying to do that. But I don't, I'm not invested in whether Charlie Kirk was a good person or a bad person, or whether he was right or whether he was wrong. That none of that is what I'm interested in. It's just not it's not important to what I'm doing. What is important to me is that a major psyop was pulled on the people, and it's not a normal one. This isn't a small, it's not a little thing. It's a lot bigger than people realize. And I think we need to figure it out. And I tell you what, it is, I would not want to be working for TPUSA, because they are pulling them motherfuckers apart big time. They better start jumping ship soon, because it's over for them. They are very close to pulling their pants down. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we can't allow them to do this to us. We have to stand up and say, no, we're not going to take this shit anymore. And we have to do what we can. And I consider myself a damn good researcher. Y'all may disagree with that. That's fine. But personally, I do feel like I have the ability to look down the wrong end of the telescope and come up with something that is helpful. And so I'm trying to put my talents to use to make a difference in that. And I have found that when people get it, when they finally see what I'm trying to tell them, they're like, damn, wow, that, okay, that is important. And it like blows people's minds. There's a lot of quite a few of the big, social media researchers right now that think they know the EMT's story, and they don't. They are brushing up against it, and they really don't understand how important it is. But the basic gist is that there were 2 EMTs on scene that followed protocol. They walked behind the security team that was carrying Charlie. They walked to the SUV. They offered their services. They radioed for an ambulance, which the SUV passed halfway to the hospital. And they followed the law and followed their protocols. They were denied by the security team to help and provide medical care for Charlie. They were denied to be able to get in the vehicle even. And that, if you read the laws, is against the law. It's against Utah state law. It's against it breaks the duty to act. There are laws in place, and I'm giving the layman's version here, but the laws state that they broke the law. And as Brian Harpo famously said on the Sean Ryan show, well, I can't break the law. We can't break the law. Well, you did break the law. You might not have broken the law putting up drones, but you broke the law when you denied the EMTs to provide medical care to Charlie. You broke the law. Prove me wrong. I thank you all for listening, and I will see you next week. Love, Beags.